Hello, it's Brooke and MaryCarl from Cog Hill Farm.
And Zerk.
And Zerk, I'm sorry Zerk, I forgot about you. This is going to be our first real video. I told y'all in the last one that all the videos were not going to be like that, and they are most certainly not. So, as you can tell, we're in MaryCarl's bedroom, and we thought that this might be a good time to do an introduction to some of her birds that are not in her room. However, we do have a new addition to the ones that live in her room. She's been hand feeding a baby pigeon, and we're going to show y'all how she does that first, and then introduce some of her birds as well as the new addition.
So here I've got some baby bird formula. This is the exact formula, I think it's called, and it works for baby pigeons. And what I'm going to do is I've got a rubber glove. I'm just going to cut the tip off of one of the fingers and get that rubber glove and stretch it over the top of this little spice jar like that.
So is that like a miniature, a very small?
It's about the same as a little spice jar, so that's
about the height of my finger.
Yeah. And then I make a very tiny hole in it.
A very tiny hole, okay.
And then we're gonna feed the baby.
What? Whose baby?
This is Blue and Tiger's baby. These are homing pigeons. And somehow he's red. It's really pretty. And he's hungry.
And why did you take him?
The parents weren't feeding him. This is their first baby they've ever had, and that's pretty usual. They won't feed him.
Okay.
So
let's quit talking and start feeding, right?
With that little hole.
Does he know how to do this?
I gotta help him a little bit. That little hole.
Okay.
I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna put his beak in there since he's opened up. He wants to eat.
Okay.
And like that, I'm going to shake it gently.
Except I can't see it.
And he's going to spill.
Wow. He makes a mess, but he wants more. Now, he purposely takes a big hole out of that, or is that not supposed to happen?
Well, it happens, and I'm going to have to redo it in a minute. He's about full. Wipe him off.
Now, how do you know when he's full? You can't just wait till he quits hollering,
right? He won't quit hollering. He will holler forever.
So, tell us how you know. You said he's about full. Is he full?
No, he's not full, because you can see this is his crop, this like bubble thing on his chest. It's like when they're full. I'm using baby bird formula. If you were using wet seeds, it would be kind of crunchy.
Okay.
But since you can see, it's like really squishy, and it'll get about that big, I would say. Okay. I'm gonna.
So after the first one busted, we're back to number 2.
And probably a balloon would be better. And you could use something like a shot glass or like a spice jar. You could even use like a little medicine container.
Yeah, a little or peel bottle. Make sure you got it cleaned out really good.
Look at him.
Okay.
He got messy.
So instead of that glove, what could you use?
A balloon. I don't have any balloons right now, and I will go get some soon. But the gloves, they kind of just rip. So a balloon probably be better. Yeah, because it would be a little thicker. All right, now tell me about his crop. Is he full? Let me wipe him off and I'll see. Make sure you clean them good because it'll dry on them. Yeah, and then their feathers will get messed up. And this is not feces. This is formula. Yes, that is formula. If their poop looked like that, it would not be good at all. Okay, so. All right, you can see he's like really big now. He's cropped. Show me from the front. Okay, so is he full? Yes, he's full. He's full. But he should be able to touch it, and if he just like, it feels like a water balloon that's inflated. It shouldn't be too, that's bonbon. It shouldn't be too tight, and it shouldn't be too loose. If it's too loose, that means he needs to be fed more. Okay. And if it's too tight, that means he's eaten too much. But you can see this one's about perfect. So, now that we've got him fed, what do you want to do next? Let's talk about the new bird.
Okay, good idea.
So this is the new bird. Her name is Bonbon, and she is a 13-year-old green-cheeked conure. She's a pineapple mutation, that's why she looks different than most green cheeks. She's foraging right now. Look at her. We adopted Bonbon from a very nice lady who had some health issues and could not keep Bonbon anymore. Bonbon is very sweet. Right now she's digging for safflower seeds. Yeah, you're a pretty girl.
Not only is she pretty, but she is so sweet. Come here, Bonbon, will you step up? Step up, baby. Oh, look at her. And Bonbon is special. Why is she special? She's the only girl.
Oh.
We have all of these boys. We have Mondu, the blue Quaker. We have Peanut, the green cheek conure. And we have Zerk, wherever Zerk may be.
He's on the door.
Zerk's on the door. And then we have Bonbon, who's the only female bird in the parrot family. Is she in the parrot family?
Yes.
In the parrot family that lives in MaryCarl's bedroom. MaryCarl, a lot of people were wanting to know, do your birds just go to the bathroom just anywhere?
No, they sit right here usually.
They sit right here. And you always make sure that their bowls are filled up with things that they enjoy.
And they always have a foraging tray, and foraging is very important for parrots.
Foraging?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's what she's doing right now.
Mm-hmm. She's pretty much just digging, looking for stuff.
And it keeps their mind occupied, doesn't it? So therefore, they don't want to leave this area because they have everything they need right here.
I also give them branches. They like to pull the bark off the branches and shred the leaves.
Peanut, do you do that?
He does.
All right. So most of the time, the birds stay on their little play centers. Peanut's trying to talk to me. And their droppings go onto the newspaper, which MaryCarl does a good job. Peanut's nodding his head. MaryCarl does a good job of keeping her bird areas clean. Her cages are always clean. Her waters are always clean. And you have to do that. That's part of the responsibility of owning a, what are they? Parrots. Parrots or parakeet or any kind of animal. Even a chicken. Even a pigeon. You have to keep their water and food areas clean and tidy, or else you'll have a sick bird, right, MaryCarl?
Correct.
Peanut.
Most illnesses that birds get are from their water, from nasty water.
From nasty water. Yeah. How long do you think it takes you every day to clean out all the feeders and the waters?
I don't know, 10 minutes, but probably 5 minutes, because if I wasn't giving them all the other junk they have.
Well, it's not really junk, it's special junk.
Yeah, they get fruit, which is very important for Australian parrots and parakeets. I mean, South American parakeets and parrots, like these. These are all South American parakeets. They get fruit every day, at least every other day for South American parakeets.
So fruit is essential to their diet.
Yes, vegetables are also really healthy for them, and they need them often.
And so you make it a point that you prepare vegetables and fruits for them every day. And you may not do that at the same time that you fix their waters.
I usually freeze the chop and the fruit so that I can save it for a long time.
So you just put it in little Ziploc bags and freeze it, and that way you thaw it out the night before, and you can keep it in the refrigerator for how many days?
A week. At least
for about a week.
And,
and then you just use off of that until it's gone, and then you make some more, right?
Yep.
How about it, boys? What do y'all think?
This is something I thought was just interesting. Parakeets aren't all budgies, or like the little bluebirds that are striped with or green ones. Parakeets are any bird, any parrot, as in like these, that are not a cockatoo, a macaw, and makes a parakeet is they are any parrot with a long tail. It's not a cockatoo or a macaw. See how they've got long tails.
They do have long tails.
But Zerk.
Even Boma has a long tail.
Zerk is not a parakeet because he's a cockatoo.
Zerk's a cockatoo? Even though he's a cockatiel,
yes,
is his breed. His species is a cockatoo?
No, he's not a breed.
Okay, start over.
So, parrots are not domesticated. They are species. They are no breeds.
Okay.
So, Peanut and Bonbon are the same species. They're a different mutation.
Okay.
Cockatoos are a species of cockatoos.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so we have had a little lesson today about MaryCarl's inside birds, as well as the new addition, Bonbon, who is a very special girl.
Got her.
She's foraging. All right, so, you know, I was thinking that people might like to see some of your pigeons that they haven't ever seen before.
Yeah.
Some of the ones that are outside. You want to go outside and take a tour and just kind of show everybody what you got?
Sure.
Wow, MaryCarl. Those are some beautiful pigeons. The brown ones and the black ones. What are they?
They're called Archangels.
Archangels?
Yes.
All right, tell me more.
They are a breed of fancy pigeon. Obviously, they're super fancy. I have 6 of them. It's only 5 right there. The other one's over here. And they came from Mr. Jim. And he gifted these beautiful birds to me. The other one's coming. There's the other one. It is, I believe that it is 3 pairs.
3 pairs?
Yes.
And those birds come in 2 different colors, is that right?
There's lots of colors, but this is the most common.
This is the most common color. And if you'll notice, they have, I don't know that the camera's going to do them justice, but they have red feet.
They do have red feet.
I think it's so pretty and so cool. And you know what else I noticed about them?
What?
Those little tufts on the back of their head.
That is called a crest.
Called a crest. But all pigeons don't have a crest, do they?
Not all of them do.
Okay.
Some of these, and most of these in here, as you can see in my fan cells, have them too.
Okay. And the Archangels don't have feathered feet.
The Archangels do not have feathered feet, but the fantails do.
So the Archangels and the fantails are just meant to be pretty, right?
Yes.
They don't really serve a purpose. They're just beautiful.
Exactly. They're just pretty
Now
beautiful.
this one that's right there, right
the black
there.
one?
He is beautiful.
His name is Shadow, and he's an Indian fantail.
And you had Shadow, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you did?
That's right there. That's his wife. Her name's Caramel.
And then Jack's behind them, which was your first pigeon. And you have them in here because if they were outside, what would happen to these fancy birds?
Their feather quality wouldn't be as good, as these birds are bred for show and all, so they're meant to be kept in a loft.
Okay. But this isn't the only pigeon loft you have.
No, I have 3.
And this is the back side of the silky area where the Sarama chickens used to be.
Yes.
And it serves a wonderful purpose. How many birds do you have in here?
I think I have 12.
That's what I was thinking. It serves a wonderful purpose for 12 birds that are meant for their beauty.
Yes.
Now, do you have a favorite breed before we show them all?
My favorite breed is just the fantails because they are special to me. Fanny, who was my first pigeon, she was Jack's wife. She was an Indian fantail.
And she's not here with us today. There was a tragedy that occurred here on the farm in which Fanny didn't make it. But Fanny's husband, Jack, has found a new mate. And he's still one of your favorites, right?
Yes. And Fanny had 4 children. This is one of her babies. That is Bean. She had Paloma, Bean, Wren, and Peter Piper.
And Jack's the daddy to all 4 of them.
Yes.
So at least you have some offspring of Fanny to carry along, right?
Yes.
All right, you got more pigeons to show, right?
Yeah.
Let's go. Okay, MaryCarl, you are now over here in the Free Flyers Loft, which is the entrance to the aviary, the outdoor aviary that we recently completed. And what's in here?
I have my rollers and my powder pigeons in here.
Rollers and powder pigeons. And you let all of these guys out to fly around, right?
Yes.
Okay, now what, do they have a purpose?
They are called sports pigeons. They are bred to, the rollers do backflips.
Oh.
And the powders were originally bred to catch other birds or bring them back.
Well, not actually like catch them in their mouth, but they have these big old crops.
You can kind of see that one.
And they can make it blow up really big like a balloon. And it looks ridiculous.
But to the other birds, it's appealing. They think it's pretty.
And so, from what I understand from what you've told, is that they would send these powder pigeons out and hopes that they would in turn lure some of the other pigeons back home to increase the flock.
Yes.
Wow.
It's pretty crazy, isn't it?
Yes. Okay, now how many powders do you have? And how many flowers do you have?
I think I have 4 rollers in here, and then I've got 3 powders.
And they're Birmingham rollers, right?
Yes, these are Birmingham rollers.
And so, I wish we could show some footage of them actually doing these flips in the air. And it's pretty awesome to see. Hopefully, in the future, we can get more footage of them doing these flips and stunts in the air. Because I like to call them circus birds. And now they're singing.
They are singing.
Does that mean anything when they're cooing like that?
That one, he's probably preparing to fight with that one.
Oh.
But then there's one in there, and he's trying to get them to nest.
And then you got another area that you'd like to show, right?
Yep.
What kind of birds is in the last area?
Homers, rollers, and powders.
Okay, let's go. Here we are in the Homer roller area where you have a mixture of the two, right?
I have a few powder pairs in here. This is the breeding loft where I keep all the breeding birds. And some of the more special ones, I guess you would say.
So you've got nests on that entire back wall.
Yes.
And then on the wall, you've got these perches all over the side of the loft wall.
Yep.
So they get in those, it's pretty cool to me. They get in those dog bowl looking things that are inside the nest, right?
Yes.
And they take this straw that you have piled up.
Yeah.
And they put it in that nest and they build the perfect little compartment to lay their eggs.
Yep.
And now tell us about the incubation of the eggs.
They will trade places, as in the hen will sit and then the male will sit. Like the one sitting now, that one, that blue one, and that white one are both the males. And they take turns. So the hen will sit and then the male will come sit. And then the hen will sit again and the male will sit. So they do that. I would say they probably swap, I don't know, every 5 hours, 6 hours.
Uh-huh. And how long does it take for the eggs to hatch?
18 days.
Oh my gracious. And they do that for 18 days, sitting and swapping, sitting and swapping.
And then when they get close to the eggs hatching, the parents will create something called crop milk, and that's what they feed their chicks.
So it's important for you to give them a very good diet because what they eat in turn is feed for the babies.
Yes.
You don't have to feed those babies, right?
No, not unless they quit feeding them or something happens.
But it's not like a chicken when you go out and give them chick starter or something. They have to have a formula that is created in the crop or either artificially created to add water to as a liquid.
Yes.
Wow. Now somebody's got a bell on. Did you hear that?
I put those little bells on those.
You put bells on their legs?
Yeah.
Okay. Jingle pigeons.
Traditionally, they would put little bells and fancy rings on them as jewelry, pigeon jewelry.
Okay.
So I did that on a couple of homers.
So you made your own jewelry.
Yeah.
I have some foster parents in here. I call them fosters. I will give them other birds' eggs for them to hatch, and they get to take care of them just like their own, and they don't know it.
And then you also have a controlled breeding program. When somebody has too many babies, or you have too many babies, then I give them artificial eggs in?
Yes, they're just little plastic eggs that you swap for the real eggs so they won't have a lot of babies.
Yeah, because they'll sit on those and think that that's their eggs rather than continuously laying and sitting.
And then after maybe like 3 rounds of those eggs, they'll give up and they'll quit for a season.
So it's like breaking a brood in a chicken.
Yes.
Right?
Except they will only sit for like 20 days.
MaryCarl,
yeah.
That thing back there, is he the powder?
Yes, those are powder.
Look at that big chest. Will he fly away if you go over there?
Yeah, he will.
Wow. All right, look at how big his chest is.
Yeah.
That's Dolly Parton. Now, is that a female grooming?
Mm-hmm.
That's a female grooming him.
Yes.
Because she's interested in him.
Yes, that's his mate.
That's his mate? The one pecking?
That little white one is his other mate.
Oh. So
the powders have several mates.
Is that common in all powders or just yours?
Mainly just powders. They're...
The ladies love them.
Mm-hmm. And she has 2 husbands.
Wowzers.
And the other husband is a powder. That's just what powders do.
Okay. Have multiple wives. Do you have any babies in here you could show us?
Oh, look at the sweet baby.
This one is a baby roller. I think this one's like 12 days old. By the way, he's getting a lot of feathers.
12 days old and he's this big.
Yep. They grow extremely fast.
But the parents are still taking care of it, right?
Yes, the parents will take care of the babies for 4 weeks. So this one is a roller that's about 4 weeks old. And he still sits in the nest with his parents.
Okay. So
his parents have built a new nest, but he still sits with them and he preens them, and they still feed him.
now, at this point, would they be feeding him the same formula as when he was a baby?
No, after 7 days, they quit feeding crop milk and just feed like seeds and water.
So do they take a mouthful over and just put it in his beak, or do they digest it some and then?
They just take a mouthful and put it in his beak.
Okay, so they're taking their seeds and they go bring it to him. What a life you have. Wow.
Look at his little sprouts still sticking up.
He's still got some little baby feathers.
He wants to go. He said, I want to go see my parents.
Okay, so here we are outside in the newly finished aviary that took forever, but that's not the point. The point is it's here now and we're able to finally enjoy it. Tell us about some of the pigeons that are out here in the aviary.
I have 4 of my special pigeons in here. This is Peter Piper. He is one of Fanny's sons, and I also have his sister, Wren, and Cricket.
All right.
That's Wren.
That's Wren.
And Cricket. That's that one on the front. And Grasshopper.
Cricket and Grasshopper. And if y'all will remember in our first video when we showed the inside birds, Cricket and Grasshopper were inside, right?
Yes.
But I'm kind of thinking that once this aviary was completed, that you started thinking they might enjoy it out here.
Yeah.
So you decided to bring them out here, and lo and behold, they're happy.
They are.
They're very happy. And you know what? It's that you want to do what's best for the birds.
Yeah.
And in this case, it was bringing these 2 pigeons outside to live where they can enjoy nature and enjoy the outside.
Yep.
We hadn't talked about 2 other birds.
Those are the Victorian crowned pigeons.
The Victorian crowned pigeons. And they are very special to us. They were gifted to MaryCarl when we were at the other farm. And we had intentions all along of building an aviary. So here we are. Y'all, it looks like a parade going by back behind them. What does that mean, MaryCarl?
He's looking at the ducks. Oh, the turkey. See the turkey looking in at him?
So that was more like a guard. Beware.
Yeah.
Saying danger's near,
Yes.
possibly. And I'm really enjoying seeing them walk around on the ground and be where they would be in nature, because this is what they'd be doing out in the wild, is foraging through the wooded floor, right?
Yes. And they are native to New Guinea.
Native to New Guinea, and you'll notice they have red eyes
They do have red eyes.
and those beautiful crests on the top of their head, which to me sets them apart in beauty from any other bird. They're just
beautiful.
amazing. They are just amazing. And MaryCarl and I are sitting out here in the aviary on a bench, and I'm gonna tell you, I could find myself sitting here for a long time, just sitting watching. I mean,
Interesting.
look at the all the space that they have.
They have a lot of space.
And so we have this covered area here, and it is actually bigger than I think it looks. It's 168 square foot of covered area. So they have plenty of space to get out of the rain, but they probably would prefer to stand in the rain, wouldn't they?
They would. They love the rain. They love to take baths.
They love to take baths, and you may wonder, well, why don't we have a dirt bathing area in here? Well, why is that, MaryCarl?
Pigeons do not take dirt baths. They
what
like water. They like to take baths in puddles or rain baths.
You got one last critter in here, feathered friend, that we hadn't talked about. Who is that?
That is Pipsqueak.
So here is, I'm gonna have to scream because here's our last little feathered friend that lives here in the aviary. And what's his name?
His name is Pipsqueak.
Pipsqueak. Tell us about Pipsqueak.
Pipsqueak is probably 7 years old now, and he is a bobwhite quail, a northern bobwhite.
A northern bobwhite quail. Pipsqueak, you're an old man, buddy.
Hear him singing? How could you not hear him singing?
And we do have wild quail here on the farm. When I'm out and about mowing grass or just frequenting the property, I will see them come out of wooded areas and just fly. And it's usually in pairs.
Yep.
So, in the future, MaryCarl would like to add some more quail to the aviary because they are ground dwellers, right?
They are. They like to pick up the leftovers from the other birds.
So they'd be a good cleanup crew, basically.
Yep.
So this is the nest that Jason constructed for the Victorian crown pigeons when they were living on the inside here. And it has wire on the bottom. We went exactly by the dimensions that is suggested for them to build and have babies in. And so MaryCarl, at one point, when they were living in here, put a bunch of sticks and different material for them to construct a nest out of. And y'all, they built this massive, I mean, it was huge. And we were so excited because we just knew that they were getting ready to lay eggs, but it never happened. So, we're hoping, MaryCarl don't want them to have babies this year because it's getting on up into the seasons where it's gonna get cooler and a baby just probably wouldn't make it. So next year, what did you say?
Next spring.
But you said you were probably gonna add some material in here.
Around January, probably.
We'll add some material around January because it takes a couple of months to construct the nest, right?
Yep.
And then it takes 30 days or so for the baby to hatch. So by that time you're on into March.
Yeah.
So next year, we're hoping for a Victorian crown baby. They only lay one egg.
Only one egg.
Only one egg, so you know, if it hatches, it hatches, and if it doesn't, they may not try again until the next season. Well, MaryCarl, I have enjoyed learning about all your feathered friends today, and I can also see why you took a love to pigeons. They're interesting birds. Very interesting, and I look forward to going on more adventures with you and learning more.